Hello everybody, hi, this is Mita. We need to look at the synastry of Candace Owens and her husband George Thomas, and here we deal with synastry. This is what I specialize in. I specialize in relationships within the astrology field. I tell you what is going to happen in your relationship in the future, what's happened in the past, and what is happening in the present. That is what I am good at, excellent in. And I also do predictions, obviously. Within my practice, I'm able to decode what will be happening in people's lives and what is happening in reality, like daily. I do that. Oh my gosh, I love Candace. I've said this before, like before she even blew up in on YouTube. I said that I really admire her because I love people who aren't afraid to challenge the system. And obviously, I love intelligent people and who put their intelligence towards a cause, right? So she's very interesting, and her chart really shows that she's a highly intelligent person. She's an intellectual. She has Jupiter and Mercury together conjunct, and from what I decoded trying to get to her birth time, I am now landing confidently on the Taurus ascendant. In my previous analysis, I was speculating that she's a Taurus ascendant, but I have given myself time to calculate her time, her birth time. And of course, I do remain open to be corrected because this is a calculation for my research purposes only, and everything is alleged that I'm going to say here, and it is definitely only for research purposes. And when I look at Candace, she reminds me so much of Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Her strength reminds me of Winnie's strength, and her fearless nature reminds me of Winnie Madikizela Mandela's fearlessness. And I just love women who aren't I love fearless women. I do. And like I said the last time, her chart does show somebody who will look for truth, hunt for truth, but to the extent of their own demise. And looking at their synastry with the husband, their relationship is normal. By normal, I mean it has its problems, definitely. They do have their own situation that is going on, but they also have the basis of commitment, like love-based commitment, and that is also showing in their chart. So I am highly anxious. For her because of I literally just completed the analysis, and I'm highly anxious for her. And of course, I do know that many people in the world, they are circling around her in prayer, praying for her. So we're going to get to that part just in a minute. But let me look at this synastry with her husband George. As always, I'm going to start with the standard synastry that everybody does on YouTube. And then I'm going to go in depth to now, go to the advanced level that I only can do. Well, I just need to laugh a bit and bring some light vibe because I'm highly anxious right now. So I need to get myself down. When you get to read people's charts and you see the truth and you see what's going to happen to their lives, you see everything. You're a human being. I am a human being, so I can be afraid for people, I can be anxious for people, I can be just touched. So let me take a breather and we do this. Okay, so people need to understand that just like psychics and other people who can see the truth, and sangomas, other people who can read people's lives and who can see the future of people, it is the same with astrology. You just get to see everything through the mathematics that we do, because we do calculate. It does require maths. So of course, with the standard synastry, with the standard astrology, people just read the personalities. But once you get to the mathematics part, to the calculations part, this is when you can literally decode each person's path in detail. And this is when you can get afraid, and this is when you can just get disturbed. And of course, I can tell you that from her chart, it is evident, and as I said, everything is alleged here, oh my gosh, it is evident that she knows the truth, and the truth comes to her. As I said before, she's got Jupiter and Mercury. The truth comes to her. Information comes to her because Jupiter and Mercury, which are both the lords of information and knowledge, this is the lower knowledge and the higher knowledge together, they come to her. So everything hidden or in the open comes to her. And now, because of, again, Jupiter being on Taurus, the ascendant of Venus, this is where you see that, that information becomes dangerous to her or for her, because Jupiter is not stable in terms of energies in Taurus. So I did take a breather, by the way, but I'm still having to shake my neck, trying to relax my muscles as I speak about the truths around her charts. Everything is alleged from the get-go until I finish this video, and everything is not a confirmation of anything, and everything that I say does not confirm or go against anything. This is astrology. We just read the charts, and I must remind everyone that astrology is not and has not been accepted as the actual science in our world. So Candace Owens, I don't have the husband's birth chart. I do have his birthday, and of course he was born in London, UK, and you see this in the charts. Like I told you guys, so many times. Do you remember I made that video about how you can see if you're going to get married to somebody who's a foreigner, or you have to get to somebody who's different from you? I told you guys, that many times people refuse to date outside of their own race, outside of their own culture, outside of their own beliefs. But your chart tells you that your destiny is going to be with somebody who's different from you, period. And so that is showing in their charts. Because his Venus, remember Venus is spouse, is conjunct with Rahu, showing that his wife would be of a foreign, different vibe from himself. And of course, Candace is not only a foreigner in terms of nationality, she's also just different, with different culture, different skin tone, just different. And you know what? George Thomas, he accepted his fate and he followed his chart, and he did get married, to Candace, and they dated briefly and quickly got engaged, quickly got married, quickly had children, because they just following their charts. I just love that story. When you are sure of what you want, just go for it. Just go for it. And of course, they do have many children, like 4 children, and I wouldn't be afraid. I wouldn't be surprised if they would add more kids, because her chart allows her to have as plenty of children as possible, to extend her family, to nurture her family. And so I wouldn't be surprised if she continued to have more and more kids. Now, looking at the Synastry, I do have her ascendant, which is Taurus, opposite his Mars and Sun. Now, Mars is here empowered. It is in Scorpio, his Mars. And Sun is also empowered, like energized, not in a dire situation. It's energized in terms of support. And it is able to give or bring the truth to things, to hidden things, because it's in Scorpio. So I can definitely see here that her husband has access to hidden information, or people who have hidden information, and he brings all of that to her because his Sun is in Scorpio and in the 7th house, looking at her, like opposite to her ascendant. So there's a high access that her husband has in terms of hidden information, and to powerful people, about powerful people, because both Mars and Sun being in the Scorpio sign, it's showing like high intelligent information, and he has access to it. He has access and connections, and he has actually a bigger power because Mars is in his own sign here. So he has a bigger power, and of course he does come from a political family, and high access to powerful people, political people. Sun is the leadership, so he has that authority in terms of accessing all the dark details of politicians and these people that Candace is hunting, because Candace is a hunter. Okay, that is her chart. She's a hunter. She's a hunter of truth. She's a hunter of hidden things, and she gets to get those things. So either way, one way or the other, she gets to have that knowledge, simply because, as I said, Jupiter and Mercury are on her ascendant. The information comes to her one way or the other. She gets to know things. She is like the vault of the truths of this world. And with that said, I also do see that because, Mars is in her 7th house, there's definitely some problems in her marriage. And this is why I say her relationship is normal. With that Sun here and Mars here, this is not an easy relationship. And it could also be in terms of arguments or in terms of control, whereby one partner controls the other partner. Everything is alleged. Whatever I say here is not a confirmation of anything. This is an analysis for research purposes only. She does have a Venus, her Venus squaring his Venus, which is with Rahu. One of them, you can tell, is highly reserved or a conservative in terms of how they show their love, and that's him. He believes in family values. He believes in marrying to extend family, marrying to keep traditions, marrying to push traditions. However, those traditions are within the extent of looking towards the future and what the future could be, because the Venus in Capricorn is with Rahu. Rahu is against the norm and looking at the future. However, because it's in Capricorn, so it's a merger of the two. And her on the other side, she's she believes being in love for the passion, for the experience, for the what you feel within, what you can get, and all of those things, right? So, and those are the differences. However, when it comes to her Venus, it does make a beautiful trine to his Saturn, which is where this commitment and marriage has been able to exist, because the Venus and the Saturn, that is love, affection, relationship, and commitment, all in harmony. And of course, they have the positions of their moons, which I love. I really enjoy the support that they give to each other in terms of family and also in terms of emotional supports. They give to one another which one lacks. So that is beautiful. And of course, her moon is conjunct with his Venus, children, family, resources. All of that is accessible to them through that conjunction. And they do have a semi-sextile of her moon with his Saturn. I love it. It's okay. It's acceptable. It's not 100% beneficial aspect to any of them, but it's okay. It works out well. And I also do have three things that I really don't like, and that I can see from that placement from that overlay of his Mars and Sun in her 7th house. They do have their Mars in conjunct, and they have also her Saturn in conjunct his moon, and her Mercury in conjunct his Mercury. So they do have quite difficulties like any other relationship. So this is why I say relationship is normal, and at the same time there's a commitment here, there's love at the same time. So nothing out of the ordinary, nothing out of the blue, nothing out of what we have not seen. All right, so now I had to break down her D9 chart because this is where I really saw the depths of their synastry and her love situation. So I'm not going to show it on here, the D9 chart, but in that D9 chart, I actually saw that, or rather verified what I was seeing on the analysis in her chart. You know how she said recently that she believes that, she's going to look for the truth, or she's going to pursue the truth regarding to Charlie Kirk. And she said even something over her dead body. And she said that she believed that also could be arranged. That was a powerful thing that she said. And as I said, her her Mercury and Jupiter on that, or Taurus ascendant, they make her go to the extreme, to the point of her own demise. But then the way she said it, it's like she is willing to give up her life and, in search of the truth, or fighting the good fight, of course. But her chart is making me uneasy because it is not her body that would be in the crossfire here. It is highly indicating that the harm would be around the people around her that she loves. The danger would come through the husband, or if somebody wanted to teach her a lesson, they would go for the husband or their family around her. So she is like the rock. She is like the fearlessness party, but then she's not the one in the immediate danger here, because she actually is protected by her progressive Saturn. And what I do see is that after 4 years, she may also be even in the more better position to fight for herself, to defend herself. But for these 2 years here, just until she is like 38, this is a go time. This is a tough time that she's going to face, but mostly fearfully from my part, when it comes to her husband. And so, obviously when you have a calling in life, when you have a mission in life, most of the time you are pushed by that mission, that destiny, and the people around you do suffer, or do get impacted by your actions. All heroes have experienced this. Every fighter of whatever cause in search of the truth, or fighting for the truth, have had to face, their families being the sacrificial lambs in the open. And of course, some people have also been called cowards or sellouts because they chose to protect their families and to protect those who are close to them. So there's two types of people. There's the hero who's going to go out and sacrifice the family, their safety, and there's the hero that is going to succumb to the pressure and to the system in pursuit of protecting their loved ones and their family. They are known as the sellout. So that is what's making me so nervous in this chart. So I had to look at the D9 chart, and I am seeing this, this challenge around the spouse and the family life. So I do see yeah, that within these 2 years, she just needs to make sure that, the people that she loves are also safe, not just herself, but the people also that she loves. And I do see that her husband does give her a whole lot of power. Like, she feels empowered because of her husband. But one move regarding to the husband, one critical move regarding to the husband would be, the life-changing moment for her, and in a way that would shock her system, that would disturb her system. And so, yeah. And, it's so... sometimes when we are married, and sometimes the people that we marry, we don't know them. And when we marry them, we feel empowered, and then later on we learn more things about, our people, our spouses. And, there are things like this, that do exist in this world, whereby the people that we marry are actually our biggest downfall point, the biggest short coming point, the point that we don't see as a dangerous point, the point that makes us feel is the most comfortable, but then we turn out and it is like the hugest pit. Yeah, so these things do exist. I am trying to, use a language here that is extremely safe in speech, safe in delivery, safe in... So yeah, that's it for this synastry. Just the last word of caution, her safety should not be just only about her safety, but also regard to their people around her, her intimate people and immediate people, because that's where the danger is lurking around. She could be the speaker, the mouth, but people who have the power, or that the people that she's hunting, or that she's having fights with, they would be looking at cutting the throat, and not necessarily the mouth. They would look at the throat, where the power is really coming from. So, she's a strong woman. She's an intelligent woman. I love her. I love her strength. I love her fearlessness. I love her family. And, I am for going for your chart, follow your chart. And, there's nothing else you can do. If your chart says you're going to do this, you're going to live your life like this, you're going to say these things at this time, you're going to face this and that at this time, there's nothing much you can do but to just align yourself. And she's been doing that. I will chat to you soon. And there are many requested synastry charts, but I will roll them out slowly. I am not focusing on putting out synastry content daily like I used to, because I want to merge many topics that I find purposeful now towards advancing a society. And in that case, the synastry is what I do, is what I specialize in, and it will always be part of our programs for sure. I'll chat to you soon. Stay safe A bientôt. Ciao.